Creative Critical Reflection created by Olivia Bouvier for ACE Media Studies AS level. Creative Critical Reflection created by Olivia Bouvier for ACE Media Studies AS level. So what exactly is the horror genre? The horror genre is meant to elicit a sense of dread in their audiences. It's meant to startle, shock, and repulse all of their target audiences. Action horror films are created to target men or males in between ages 16 to 25, and supernatural genres are meant to target those between 15 to 24, and it's split in between males and females. How did your production skills develop throughout this project? My process. So, although this project was a really long process and we needed to approach it very smoothly, we decided to create a thought organizer. So we needed to brainstorm. And we decided to put ideas of where we want to film, what we want to film, how we want to film it, and ultimately where we want to start, which was the horror genre. So we did some research on specific horror films, such as The Watcher, and we wanted to create a sense of curiosity in our audiences, just as the production of The Watcher did in their audiences, in order to illustrate a woman that is ultimately able to defeat her stalker. So once we decided that we wanted to kind of create a film along those lines, we created mood boards to develop a character and to kind of organize the way that we wanted to create our characters and the theme and the mise-en-scène of our characters. Then, when doing so, we planned through blogging, and we decided to film at the University of Miami campus. And then, of course, last but not least, the editing process. So as the slides go on, I'll go more into detail on exactly kind of how we went through that. But I wanted to discuss a few obstacles that my partner and I encountered throughout the last 8 weeks of our project. And obviously, we were able to overcome them, with patience and the ability to work on each other's schedule. So we did struggle having days where we could actually, commit to filming and to working together. It was definitely very difficult between our busy schedules, but we were able to kind of find a couple hours within those days and to dedicate it based just on the project, and to be able to kind of work and manage and move around our schedules so we can work with each other, despite having busy schedules and having other commitments. One of the ways that I've approached this entire process was through blogging. Through blogging, I have been able to not only document every single move and every single piece of my progress on my blogs, but I've also been able to really kind of document where I'm at, how I plan to move forward, and exactly how I'm moving through this long process, so that by the time I was able to produce my production, I was really able to kind of see where I'm at, how I want to grow, and exactly what I need to improve. Additionally, a way that my partner and I were really able to stay on task were through blogging. With that being said, we were able to constantly document a few times weekly about where we are and what we need to do. So we would create things like schedules for the week. We would create mood boards, as mentioned in the previous slide, of developing characters. We were able to discuss mise-en-scène elements, character development. I was able to also meet with my peers, which in the picture above, it's a group meeting where I was able to collaborate with others and ultimately get feedback from my peers on how I should better produce my production film. How did I integrate technologies in my project? A way that my partner and I were able to integrate technologies in our project was through reaching out to local organizations that ultimately allow us to borrow their equipment. With that being said, we were able to use a camera, a sound tool, lighting tool, and a tripod, all from a local organization for free of charge, which made it very easy for my partner and I to produce our opening. We were able to use softwares such as Blogger. We were able to use font websites to find fonts for our editing process that was throughout our credits in our production, and we were able to use Adobe Premiere as an editing platform to help us produce and put together our entire project, along with name generators to create names of our characters, such as Corinne Sylvain, which was the main character And we were able to basically kind of adapt through this generator where the character is from and how we want to produce her name. So we just kind of typed a few ideas out and they created it for us, which was incredible. So what exactly have I learned with editing? Well, to begin with, at the start of this course, I had no idea how to edit. I have never been exposed to Adobe Premiere. I have never been exposed to iMovie. So I was definitely a little bit rough in the beginning. It was a rocky process, but I have learned how to put several pieces of footage together, and I have learned how to add sound effects. I have learned how to work with lighting and different fonts on videos, which has been incredible. I have also learned how to utilize these platforms, and I now am able to help others with my new skill that I have developed throughout this course with my ability to edit. Overall, I have to say that this was probably one of the best projects I have ever took part in, and I'm so grateful that I have been able to work on something with such an incredible partner. Regardless of the grade that I receive, I know that I have put my heart into it and I did the best that I could. Although it was stressful and there were several obstacles that were encountered, such as not being able to meet up or difficulty finding times that work for the both of us, we truly were able to come together despite all of the things that were going on in our lives to produce this project and work together effectively. For future projects, I will try to receive more feedback from my peers on how I can improve. And I am very excited for all the future projects that I get to take part in, and I am very excited for what the future has for me with media studies. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation.